Hello everybody! Today we are going to be taking a look at some multiplication problems. I know a lot of you are happy to move on from some of that division. And we're going to be doing 2-digit times 2-digit multiplication when one of those 2-digit numbers is multiple of 10. So we're going to continue to use the area model, and you guys got really good at using the area model for division, and now we're going to be using it for our multiplication. So I'm going to draw a rectangle here. Okay? And if we have 40 times 22, we know to find the area of a rectangle, we multiply the side lengths, right? So we could label this side as 40 and this side as 22. And to find the area inside, we would multiply, right? So that's why we're calling it an area model. And we're just doing 40 times 22 here. So we're going to use this area model, and we're going to think about, okay, what number would we want to break up into some different parts? Now for me, I think it's easier to break the 22 into two separate parts. So I'm going to break my 22 up, and I'm going to label each part, right? This part is 20. I'm just going to move this 22 here, guys, down to the bottom, okay? So we know the whole side length, whoops, is 22, but we're going to label this part as 20 and this part as 2, right? So I've just broken it up. All that is sort of like your distributed property when I've just broken it up into two parts. Now I have two rectangles that I want to find the area of. So to find the area of this larger, longer one, I would do 20 times 40. And you guys now know how to multiply multiples of 10. And for this second rectangle, I would do 2 times 40. And I've left myself very little room with my illustration here, right? And if you look over here, that's no different than saying, hey, look, I've got my 40 times my 20, right? 40 times 20, this is your distributed property, plus, then you have your, sorry, trying to go back to my other, where's my other colors? Oh, there they are. My 40 times my 2. I should have done that a different color because yellow never shows up, right? So then we have 40 times 2. So we have two separate multiplication problems now, but we know how to do both of those very easily, right? So if we look at the purple one, 40 times 20, well, you know 2 times 4 is 8, right? So 40 times 20 is 800 because we're going to shift that place value over because we're talking about two sets of tens, and those are going to multiply and get into the hundreds. So we know this part is 800. And then we're going to do the orange section, whoops, which is 2 times 40. And again, you know 2 times 4 is 8, so 2 times 4D is 80. And so then all we're going to do is add those two parts together, and you get 880 as the area of the whole rectangle, right? We're taking both of these parts and adding them together to find the area of the whole rectangle. So it's not as tricky as it kind of seems, right? We're just breaking it up into parts. Let's take a look at just one more. 50 by 31. So I'm going to turn my rectangle this time and make it long. Will that make a difference? Not really, just for where our labels are going to be, right? So we know that this part is going to be 50. We know that this part is going to be a total of 31, right? And I'm going to break up my 31. I think that's easier than breaking up 50 because I'm not comfortable doing like 20 times 31. I mean, I could, but I don't want to count by 31 20 times. So I'm going to break up my 31. I'm going to break it up into a 30 and a 1 because I think that's the easiest way to go about it, right? So I'm breaking this into a 30 and a 1. And so I'm going to have my two equations, and I'm going to put it inside just so I can keep track. My two equations are going to be my 30 times 50, and then my other equation is going to be 1 times 50, right? We're taking our 30 and multiplying it by our length, and then we're taking our 1 and multiplying it by our length. So we know that 30 times 50, I know 3 times 5 is 15, so 30 times 50 is 1,500 because, again, I know I'm going to shift those place values over by two places because of those zeros there. And then I know that 1 times 50 is 50. And to record it as my partial products, I'm simply going to write 30 times 50 equals 1,500. I'm going to write 1 times 50 is 50. And then I'm going to just add 1,500 plus 50, and I will get 1,550 as my product. Okay, does that make sense? So today you're going to be using the area model. You are going to multiply two two-digit numbers, one of which is going to be multiples of 10. Break up the other number. You can break up the multiple of 10, but I really like you to focus on breaking up the other one, and you'll see why tomorrow, or actually on Thursday. And then show your work with partial products. So I want you to show your work either with partial products like this, or you can do it with the distributive property like this, okay? But you do need to show that multiplication. Make sure you're labeling all of your lengths. So I want to see all these labels on the outsides. I want to see how you've broken up your area model. I want to see the equations inside, okay? Good luck. Let me